This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Hey, it's a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. I want to ask you a question. What do you do when you got all cylinders going and you are having great success in the corporate arena? You are one of the new superstars on the scene, making lots of money, cutting lots of deals. But there's a hidden cost to success. What happens when you are hit with a stroke of success? Ooh, you're going to want to listen to this show. My special guest is a man who is on fire, helping people to succeed and enjoy the process. And what a story he has. This is going to be a life-changing show for many of you. Stay tuned. Well, you know, I have only just a minute, folks. Only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. I did not choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer. If I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. So I'm grateful for this minute, this moment to be on with all of you and to share ideas to help you do more, be more, and achieve more. Are you ready for some great ideas to help you win more? You better stay tuned. You know, I take a moment to do God's minute, then I take a moment to give God some glory. Oh, yeah, I do it every show. I know everybody doesn't believe like I believe, think like I think, but I'm giving God the glory. Why? Because how blessed and grateful I am. If you're grateful, I think you should tell people if they've done good for you, if they've helped you, if they've been kind to you. Take a moment to say thank you. That's what I do every show. This is my 20th season, 20 years on SiriusXM. Because God blessed me with the opportunity and has kept me going and having the best guest ever. So I give him glory. So thank God. And I tell you every week, God's gift to you is life. Your gift to God is what you do with your life. Oh, today's interview is going to be one of those, that part. Okay, that part. All right. And then I take a moment to thank Truist Bank for this continued support. Truist, 2 great banks were competitors, and they decided to come together to create one even greater, more powerful bank, Truist. BB&T and SunTrust said, let's come together and stop competing, and let's create a great bank that changes the world. And so they are doing that. So when you start with, you build a different kind of bank, Truist. We'll talk more about that somewhere in the show. But let me get going. I got to take this show and tell you about it. It's so powerful what I'm about to share with you. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be life-changing. I really do. So my guest today is a gentleman who is internationally recognized keynote and transformational speaker. He's given keynote presentations all over the globe, and he understands the power of sharing real life lessons and strategies. He frequently presents at industry events and author of Amazon #1 best-selling book, Sales Enhancement 3.0, The Blueprint of Sales Enablement Excellence. And he has done so many others, but he has a new book that I'm telling you, it's life-changing. It's a life-changing book. He is a popular speaker, author, and now he's going to be one who helps people get balance. My friend, Roderick Jefferson. Roderick, so good to have you.
Willie Jolley, thank you so much. I have been so excited, ready for this today. Thank you for the amazing kickoff and for the setup and for the opportunity to spend time with you and your audience today. I'm really looking forward to this.
Well, let's just jump into this story because it's so powerful. Usually I tell people, well, give me your background. Where'd you come from? You can give me a little taste of that, but your story is what's going to change people's lives. So I'll just kind of throw it to you and you just tell, a little bit about you and your background, and then why I would even have you on the show talking about this incredible topic, a stroke of success.
A little bit on my background. So I grew up down south, down in Louisiana and Texas. Then I moved out to California later in life. My first real, and I'll say big boy job, was with AT&T. Started out in sales, inside sales, did well, got promoted to outside sales, went to President's Club a couple of times. And of course, they naturally promoted me to sales leader. I turned it down and they thought I was crazy. But I realized that I loved the process of selling more than I did taking down big deals. And so I went to my sales leader and I said, what if I could create a new job that would do two things for you and for our region? One, I can get people ramped up to revenue and productivity faster by using some of the basic rudimentary templates that I'd created. And secondly, what if I could guarantee you that more people would be going to President's Club than you have budget for?
Woo! I know that got their attention.
Oh, his ears lit up like a Christmas tree. And he said, well, then you got a new job. 2 weeks later, it was my first training job. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was trusting God that he was going to guide my hands, my words, my thoughts, and my actions. I've been blessed to be a part of some of the best companies on the planet. I've worked at Siebel, eBay, HP, Oracle, Salesforce, Marketo. And I was able to, as you said, I became that shining star that shot up the ladder.
Yes.
And I finally had reached what I thought was the pinnacle and the definition of success. I'd become a senior vice president in corporate. I was flying around the world in corporate jets and helicopters and staying in castles in Europe. And I was sitting down with kings and queens and heads of state and even two of our presidents.
Wow.
And so to me, outwardly, it was successful. Now, let me step back. To me, success personally has always been rooted in two things: providing and protecting for my family.
Yes.
Now, hold on to that.
Okay.
As I was rising that ladder, the problem is I got further and further away from them. I was on the road constantly. I was living a whole completely different lifestyle than they were at home. My children were small. My wife was starting to feel like she was a single mom. I'll give you a quick glimpse into what it looked like for a period of 18 months.
Yeah.
I was in London, Paris, Geneva, Sao Paulo, Rio, Toronto, Beijing, Hong Kong, and Sydney in 18 months.
Wow.
So what that says is, how could I provide? I was providing a very nice lifestyle. but how could I protect? Because I was rarely home.
Mm.
And I remember one time I'd come back from a 2-week business trip, and my son was small at the time. And I said to my wife, we were standing in the kitchen. I can see it like it was yesterday. And I said, babe, I've been on the road for 2 weeks and I am sick of hotel food. I just want some greasy tacos. My son looked at me and he said, Dad, Tuesday's shake and bake night.
Mm.
And I realized at that moment that they had a whole world that revolved around them, a whole lifestyle that did not include me.
Mm.
Now, you would think that that would be enough to get my attention. Oh, it caught my attention. But, and truth be told, and honestly and transparently, Mr. Ego took over. I said, well, they got the direct deposit. They're living well. We got the new cars. We just moved into a home that we just had built. And to me, I was askewed by what success really meant, because what I do in corporate America, my title, my name, my company, my salary, began to be more important than who I was. Husband, friend, brother, dad. And I got to a point to where I could look in the mirror and I could say I love myself. I couldn't say I liked myself.
Wow.
And that means a lot, because that was always the pinnacle and the measuring stick by what success was. As long as I can say I still like myself and I'm respected by others and I'm respecting them. No, I had taken on a persona of who I thought I was supposed to be as a C-level executive.
Wow. So you are crisscrossing the world. You're making lots of money. You're a little distant from your family and your friends. And you are, pushing the envelope. Almost as you say in the book, I was bragging about, I only did 4 hours sleep last night. I got too much to do. I got too many emails to get back to. I got people I got to talk to. I'm busy, man. I'm busy. And you were really busy. You were really, really, really busy. Successful.
Absolutely.
From one standpoint.
Yes.
But really busy. Well, let's go on with the story. People, hold on, folks. You got to hold on.
Listen, and here's where everything changed. And that is that meteoric rise. As we say down south, I was burning both ends of the candle. And at some point, it was going to meet in the middle. I knew it was coming. But I thought, you know what? It won't happen right now. I can wait. I can keep doing. I can handle this pace that I'm at. Because corporate America teaches us two things. One, that if you're sitting still, you're not being productive.
Wow.
If you're not always busy, something's wrong. And then I realized that corporate America is here to make a profit, not friends.
Wow.
They will eat you up. And that's what happened. So here's the first step of the fall. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall, as we all know.
Oh, yeah, brother.
So I live in San Francisco Bay Area. I was down in Los Angeles doing a keynote for a sales kickoff event. I had my team with me. We were having dinner. We were jabbing back and forth, having a good time. And we had walked the hotel that day. We'd done all of our pre-prep work. We were ready to go. Oh, I just knew I was going to kill it tomorrow.
Right.
What if tomorrow never gets here? Oh, did I realize that every bit of prep that you do can all go out of the window when one thing changes. And for me, I got really, really tired in dinner. And I don't mean tired. I was an athlete. I don't mean like, I've done double days or I've been in the gym or I've been playing ball all day. No. In the middle of a sentence, I had fallen asleep.
Wow.
Of course, being the exec, I laughed it off and made fun of it. And I was like, maybe it's narcolepsy. I don't know. And then I started to not feel well. And I said, you know what? I'm going to head back to the room. I'm going to, check my presentation 1 or 2 more times, make sure that I'm prepared. I'm going to get in to bed early tonight. Here's how tired I was. I literally had to remind myself, lift your left leg and walk. Lift your right leg and step.
Oh, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Folks, you got to hear the rest of this. Don't go nowhere. It's a cliffhanger because it's a big wow coming after the break. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show with my special guest, Roderick Jefferson. I'm telling y'all, this is one for the books. You're going to love the rest of this story. We'll be right back. And for sure, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me.
I am excited to announce that my new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, is finally here, and the response has been incredible. People are buying this book like crazy. If you want to be wealthy but need help getting there, or you need help to educate your children to keep them from squandering your hard-earned money, then you need this book. Go to richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com. richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com. Don't delay. Get copies for everyone in your family today. Jolley and support for the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast come from Truist Bank. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. When you become a homeowner, your future starts to feel different. That's power, knowing you could be creating generational wealth to pass down. Truist believes that a path to home ownership exists for you. I hear people say, well, I don't see how I could ever own a home. Truist has programs that could help you buy a home with a lower down payment than you might expect. And their professional guidance helps you build belief that home ownership is within reach. Connect with a Truist teammate to learn about options that are available to you. They will listen to your goals and follow through. Reach them by calling 855-562-1579. Do this for your family and your legacy. That number is 855-562-1579 or visit truist.com/homebuyer. That's truist.com/homebuyer. Certain programs and geographic restrictions may apply. Contact a loan officer for details. Truist Bank is an equal housing lender. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast. I am so glad you're here today. I hope you are enjoying this show, but I'm hoping more that you're also enjoying being part of my community. If you just stumbled on this show by chance or this podcast, know that the SiriusXM show airs Saturdays at 4 o'clock, channel 141. And it re-airs Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m., channel 141. And the podcast goes out about a week later globally on all my social media. Also know that everybody should be sharing it, following me, sharing it, and commenting. I want everybody to follow me on the podcast, share it, and comment. And then go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com for resources to help you win more. I've got lots of resources. And you'll get information on my brand new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, which is taking off like hotcakes, like fire. How to help you, one, grow your wealth, and two, help you maintain the wealth that you create so your children will take care of it and not squander it. Well, my special guest today, his name is Roderick Jefferson. He's an international keynote speaker, sales expert, corporate superstar who went up the ladder just like a shooting star. And everybody wanted him on their teams. And he was extremely successful, making big dollars, going all over the world. And one night, the night before a big sales presentation in Los Angeles, he lives in San Francisco, but in Los Angeles, he started feeling odd, started feeling poorly at dinner. Said, I need a good night's sleep. That's got to be it. Okay, my brother, go from there.
So I'm walking back to my room, and it feels like I'm stepping in quicksand. I'm forcing myself to take each step. I get back to the room, have no problem, do a little prep, I fall asleep. The next morning I wake up and I'm ready to go. I'm energized and ready for this kickoff and for this keynote. Now, keep in mind, because I'm traveling so often, every morning when I'm on the road, my wife and I jump on a call back and forth. How are the kids? What's going on? How are you? It's my way of staying connected while I'm away from the home. This one was so different. So I'm speaking to my wife and she says, here's what's going on. And I start to tell her my story of what happened last night. And she says, what's wrong with you? I can't tell what you're saying. And she heard gibberish. Now, in my mind, it sounded exactly the way I sound right now. It scared her and worried her so much. She said, let's jump on FaceTime. I need to see what you look like. Now, little did I know this was the beginning of her walking me through stroke protocol. And thank God she understood what the components were. So she said, babe, I want you to count to 10. Like, come on, babe. I've been doing this for how long now? She said, just do it. I said, fine. 1, 10, 37, 46, 59, 2, 17, 4. And her face froze. And she said, okay, say your ABCs. I brushed it off. How long have I been doing this now? She said, would you again just do it? I said, fine. A, B, L, Q, X, W, Y, D, B. And she said, look in my face. I want to see if your face is drooping. She looked at me and she said, no, but you don't look right. And I can see fear in her eyes. And she said, babe, you're having a stroke. So she called one of the directors on my team. And I always stop here and say thank you to Tim Carlson for literally saving my life that day.
Wow.
He comes flying down the hallway, comes into my room, starts to talk to me, and all he hears is blah, 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 blah. Right behind him, he had already called 911 before he got to my room. In comes the emergency medical folks. They take me off in the ambulance to the closest emergency room we can get to as fast as we can get there. We go in, they start doing some tests. Now, what I've known is as an athlete, I have an enlarged heart, a really, really big heart, something that's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. There is no blockage, but what happens is the normal heart squeezes at 55 to 65% on average. When it gets down to 20%, cardiac arrest, you're gone. Remember that number, 20%, because it's going to be important in a moment. So we get there. They run a series of protocol. They check me. They released me from the hospital in 90 minutes. I'm like, how? I can't even talk. I can barely move. Now I'm starting to lose feeling in my limbs. My entire left side is starting to feel numb. What I didn't mention earlier was that was also the day that I was supposed to fly home from LA back to Oakland. Not a smart move, because I don't remember the next 4 days of things I'm about to tell you. My wife actually filled in the blanks. So here's what happened. I landed in Oakland. My son took my keys, took my car back to the house. My wife took me directly to the emergency room. And she said she was flying trying to get me there because I was going in and out of consciousness at this point. And so we get there. They start to check me. The first thing the neurologist and the cardiologist said to my wife is, your husband is a miracle because medically there's no reason he should be alive.
Wow.
Altitude, cabin pressure, mid-stroke, really bad combination. But I'm still here.
Yes.
I don't remember it because now I'm in a medicated coma. And so they run some tests and she comes back to my wife and she says, he is now at 22% heart function. And she said, what does that mean? She said, literally, he has about 2% chance to live.
Wow.
And make it out of this that he's going through right now. And the first 24 hours are going to be paramount as to whether or not he lives.
Wow.
Well, thank God I lived through that piece. Fast forward I've been in the hospital for about 2 weeks now. I've lost 40 pounds because they're feeding me on IV, Boost, and Ensure. I can't talk now. I'm snowblind. What that means is it's not dark. It's bright all the time, like there's a bulb in my eyes, which means I have no concept of day and night. So my sleep pattern's thrown off. My entire left side, from my shoulder blades all the way down to my feet, I'm completely paralyzed. I can't move the left side of my body at all.
Wow.
2 weeks into this, suddenly, one night, I hear code blue, and the lights are going off and flashing, and the machines are beeping, and it's my room number. In comes a number of doctors and nurses, and they're starting to, do chest compression, and they're pulling out fluids. And all of a sudden, in that moment, I heard me go from beep, 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 beep to beep. I'm flatlined. I've died.
Wow.
I am medically dead. Now, I didn't leave the room. For those of you that are interested in this near-death experience, I didn't actually leave the room. I floated up to the corner of the room, and I'm looking down on my body, and they're working on me, doing the chest compression, sucking out the fluids. I saw nothing but vibrant oranges and blues and greens and purples like I have never seen in my life. Here's miracle number 2. I look to my left, and it's my mama. My mom died 20 years prior to that. And I said, okay, mama, good and faithful servant. I have done everything that I was supposed to do. I'm ready to go home with you. And she smiled at me with that smile that only my mama had. And she said, no, baby, I've got 2 things to tell you. One, you're going to be fine and they're going to figure this out. And the second thing is you have to change your life when you go back.
Wow.
You can't live the way you've been living. You can't move the way you've been moving. Now I'm sucked back into my body. I'm lying flat on my back. I'm looking up, but I'm still dead because I'm still hearing beep. Now I hear the one word that no human ever wants to hear. Clear. I said, no, please don't do this. I do not want to get zapped. And now they put the gel onto my chest. I can feel the coldness. I can feel the pain in my chest from the chest compressions. And I hear him ribbing the paddles. As he's starting to come down, right before he hits me, I go from beep to beep, 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 and I'm back. I reach out and I grab his hand. And I stop him right before he hits me with the paddles. Now he steps back. Now the emergency response team comes in. They start running through protocol and doing their thing. But I'm still not all the way back. It feels like when you go to the dentist and you've had gas or you've had Twilight, and it sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah.
Right.
And again, I can't see anything yet. Not the way that I did once I was gone. Fast forward even further now. A couple of weeks later, I'm home. I get home. I can barely move. Now I'm going to physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy. I had to learn how to do a button, how to use a spoon, how to tie my shoes, how to talk again. And the amazing piece is, one day I was sitting, and it was the day before my son's birthday, I remember. I was watching a college football, or listening to a college football was more like it. And suddenly I felt this sharp pain in the top of my head, like somebody was drilling nails in my head. And I look down, I look up my family, and I say, as clear as you're hearing me right now, babe, I'm not sure what happened just now, but I feel like myself. No stutter whatsoever.
Wow. Whew, hold that thought. Folks, he's told you the story. He died, literally. Well, he first had a stroke, pushing it to the limit. His body tries to tell him, he doesn't listen. He has a massive stroke at night while he's sleeping. Only 2% of the people who have strokes at night survive. He came to the hospital in Los Angeles. They released him, and then he went home, and his wife realized something ain't right. He gets to the next hospital, and he's there for weeks, and during that time, he flatlines. And when he flatlines, his spirit goes out of him, and he sees his mother and talks to her, but she says, it's not yet your time. We're going to come back with more on this incredible story and the impact it's had on his life and the life of others. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. We're going to take a break for station identification. We'll be right back with the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and thought to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show and podcast. And I'm so excited about this show because I am so excited about the book. We're going to talk about the book in a moment, but first I want to talk about this great partner I have called Truist Bank. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Truist. They're incredible. They are incredible. Our partnership is so special because they serve me with knowledge and care, and that makes the difference. They have the banking tools I need because I'm a customer. I have my mortgage with Truist Bank. The financial know-how that I need whenever I need it, and they care about helping me hit my goals. And it's not just for me, though. It's for you as well. Let me tell you, the combination of knowledge and care, it unlocks possibilities. Check out what I'm talking about at truist.com/unstoppable. Truist.com/unstoppable. Truist Bank, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. My guest today is Roderick Jefferson. He was introduced to me by my friend, Ed Robinson. Ed Robinson called me one day and said, there's this guy you got to talk to. He knows of you. He wants to meet you, but you've got to talk to him. You're going to want to talk to him. I said, okay, Ed, if you say so, that's all I need. Ed and I have been friends for 30 some years. He's part of the Speakers Association. Well, he connects this time for me to speak to Roderick, and we chat. And he told me about his sales stuff and his sales books, and I'm not very impressed. I mean, I talk to salespeople all the time and sales experts, and I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't nothing to write home about. And at the end of the conversation, though, he said, oh, there's one more part of my story I got to share with you. And he shared with me what he just shared with you about dying on the table and flatlining and his spirit leaving his body. And he's seeing his mother and how she told him, your time is not yet. I said, whoa. I said, oh. I said, we talked for a long time. And I said, you've got to get a book out about this. He said, a book is on the way. It's called Stroke of Success: How Climbing the Ladder of Success Can Be Detrimental to Your Life. Wow. This is an incredible book. I'm going to tell y'all something, folks. You know, I get lots and lots and lots and lots of books. I get books every week from people who want to be on the show. And most of them, the producers say, you know, it's not going to work. And when I finally get somebody who they say we're going to interview them, I read the books. I read this book and could not put it down. In fact, I got tired a night and I said, I got to put it down. I got to go to bed. And I woke up at 3 a.m. I said, I got to finish this book. I read the book the last part of the book at 3:00 in the morning because I couldn't put it down. Roderick, where can they get this book? And tell us about the book, because people need to get this book and who this book specifically. There's an avatar for this book, and y'all, everybody can get it. I'm gonna make sure my family members read the book. But tell me more about the book, where they can get it, who you specifically wrote it for.
Thank you so much for that, Brother Jolley. I appreciate it. Let's start with who it's for. This is for that individual that is out there striving and aspiring to be successful, whatever successful may mean to you, that they're willing to go to the nth degree, that they're pushing themselves beyond where they know they should be, but they feel like that's what I've got to do to get there. Now, I always stop for a moment here and say, I absolutely admire anyone that is striving for success, and I admire them. But I have a question for you. At what cost? Because it's going to cost you something. It'll cost you either time, family, relationships, or in my case, my life. My goal now is not to talk about this stroke all the time. Frankly, and Dr. Jolley will tell you, most of the book has nothing to do with the stroke. It's literally about what happens when you lose sight of balance. And I'm not talking about work-life balance. I'm talking about mind, heart, and soul balance. Because at that point, everything you do overshadows who you are.
Yep.
Now, if you want to learn more about techniques and tools of how to not get to that point and not get comfortable of living at that high level of stress, or having a difficult time just sitting still, or feeling like I have no choice but to do what I'm doing the way I do it. Oh, there's always another way. And you can find the book on my website at roderickjefferson.com. You can get a signed copy there, an ebook there, and later this year, I will also release the audiobook.
And it's also available on Amazon as well.
Also available on Amazon as well.
But I want y'all to go to roderickjefferson.com. RODERICK, Roderick Jefferson, like Jefferson Memorial.
Like the president.
Yeah, .com. And get the signed copy, because you're going to want a signed copy. I got a signed copy. You're going to want a signed hardcover copy, because this book's going to blow up. It's going to be one of those books that you're going to have in your library that in 5 years, you might have bought. I don't know what the list price is on this. Let's say the book is, let's just say it's $30. Okay. And 5 years, it'll be worth 300. In 10 years, it'll be worth 600,000. Who knows? This is an asset. I highly recommend you get copies of this book and give it to people in your family. That's what I want my family to read it. I just couldn't put it down. And I know my children need to read it. I got hard charging, go get them children, but they need to read this. So the book talks, and this book is earmarked. I got it earmarked. You talk a lot about faith. You talk about faith and the fact that, you had some faith, you knew about faith, but this experience gave you a new perspective about life and about faith. Let me read this from page 25. Faith is not having everything figured out. For me, faith appears in small moments, choosing to believe that a setback is a setup. Come on, I like that. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Anyway, getting up each morning knowing that today could be the day everything changes. It's praying over my morning meal, finding meaning in the mess, and holding on to hope when logic tells me to quit. Oh my gosh, this book is incredible. He said, when I lost my job, when relationships have fallen apart, when health scares make me face my mortality, faith wasn't a magic fix. Instead, it was a steady voice reminding me that storms don't last forever and that there's always another chapter to write and that my story isn't over yet. Later in the book, he talks about faith being an anchor. He talked about faith, but that's not all. He's not preaching at you. He's telling you what to do when you have something like this happen. And the story is so compelling because he talks about his personal perspective of being a hard charger, bragging about not sleeping, not exercising, not spending time with his family, on the go, making it happen, winning. And then he talks about what do you do when you can't help yourself and others have to help you. Oh, it's just an incredible read. Okay, so when you have that pain go through your head and something has changed, like it's excruciating, and then you come out of that and you say, I think I'm back. And then where do you go? Oh, before you do that, because this is important. I want everybody to get this, because I don't want to miss this. Fast, please, because you kind of talked about your wife knowing the protocol. I want everybody to write down what does FAST stand for. FAST, please.
Absolutely. FAST, F-A-S-T. The F is for face. That means check someone's face to see if they're drooping, if they're lopsided, etc. A is for arm. That means lift up both your arms, see if you can hold them up equally, or if you have any weakness, right? In that piece. And S is safety. You check yourself to see if you're stable, if you can move around. And then the T is probably the most important of all, and that's time. Because if you can get help early enough, they can actually reverse with medication the impact of that stroke. Mine, it was too late. I had mine, as Dr. Jolley said, I had mine while I was asleep. And I was outside of the window. And so if they give it outside, it actually can be detrimental to you.
Wow.
So time is incredibly important, that if you start to see any of those things, you get that person you call 911 right away.
Yeah.
And make sure we get them for medical attention.
My uncle had a stroke. He's now in his 90s, but he's never regained use of one side. And it's probably been 15 years or 20 years. Then my friend Tim Smith had a stroke, and his wife was in the next room. He woke up in the morning, started brushing his teeth, and he called out to his wife, "Rhonda, help!" And she rushed in and said, "What's going on?" And he said, "I think I'm having a stroke." And just what you said, that time was able to not only save his life, he had a massive stroke, but to get him back. And I was at his home for Kwanzaa, and he's walking. He has a slight limp, but he's moving all his arms and legs, and he's talking. It took him physical therapy and occupational therapy and speech therapy. So you've been through all of that. So there are lessons here. Now we know we are a motivational country or world. And for years I've told people, you gotta, be willing to stay up late and get up early. If you want to win, you gotta go the extra mile. You gotta do the things that others don't do, so you can have the things that others won't have. And yet in all of that, you also have to have self-care. And the part you talk about self-care is so profound, because some people think that it's pampering yourself. And you say, no. Talk about that a little bit, please.
A lot of people assume that self-care is, I may go and get a massage. I may go get, my nails done or something of that sort, or I may go away on vacation. The problem with that mentality is it actually ties directly into overwork, because we look at that as it's some kind of treat for ourselves by doing that. It's almost like I always equate it to having a cheat day when you're on a diet. Yes. No, you don't need to have those. What you need to do is incorporate self-care, mindfulness, and balance in every single day. Look, I don't want to sound like I'm Pollyannish or I've got rose-colored glasses. No, there are good days, up days and down days. It's going to happen. But what I've done is found a way to make sure that I incorporate my 4 Fs into every day.
What are they?
Faith, family, friends, and most importantly, fun.
Hold that thought. Yes. Fun. Folks, wow. We're going to come right back, because you got to hear how he has come back and what you can learn on your journey, and how so many people are struggling and need somebody just to talk to. We're going to be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast. And for sure, the best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Motivate Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, here to thank Truist Bank for their sponsorship of the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast. Now, if you're a longtime Wealthy Ways listener, you know I believe that mindset is the key to success, and so does Truist. That's why they've created their incredible resource, Money and Mindset. It's full of tips to help you with your finances and help you with your well-being. You can get articles, quizzes, calculators, and hey, even more podcast information that will bless you, all for free and for anyone to use. Check it out today at truist.com/money and mindset. Truist.com/money and mindset. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care, and Truist Bank is a member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways show and podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find a podcast. Please do 3 things. Follow me, and then subscribe, and then share. And you did. And if you can comment, do so. Let me read chapter 10, Advocating for Self-Care. Today, take time to love yourself today. You deserve it. He wrote, before my stroke, I thought of self-care was selfish. I believed that putting myself first meant I was somehow failing the people who depended on me. I wore my exhaustion like a badge of honor, convinced that running on empty was proof of my dedication, my strength, my worth. I could not have been more wrong. My stroke didn't just change my body. It fundamentally altered my understanding of what it means to be genuinely care for yourself and by extension for others. During the long months of recovery, I discovered a truth I wish I had known years earlier. Self-care is not selfish. It's vital. It's not a luxury you indulge in when everything else is perfect. It's the foundation that makes everything else possible. Ooh, good God Almighty. Folks, this is why I want him on, because we got a lot of hard chargers listening. And I have had over the years friends who were pushing it so hard and didn't take care of themselves, didn't have a day off, didn't take time or a family day, and they came to regret it. And that's what let me just say for the record, here's how I work my life. I sleep till I wake up. Okay. I just sleep. I don't have an alarm clock. I haven't had it for years, probably 25 years, where I just sleep till I wake up unless I have a speech or a plane to catch. Second, I don't work on Sundays. You're not going to get me in my office for Sundays at all. It's my family day. And I don't take work to my bedroom. That's my time for my wife and I. And I work out every day. Every day the Lord makes, I work out. I make it part of a routine. Because my brother was 48 years old and died of a massive heart attack because he didn't have self-care and take time to renew. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead, Roderick.
First of all, my condolences on the loss, brother.
Yes.
And to the point that you just made, self-care is not selfish.
Nope.
It's a vital part of who you are. Here's what I do every single day. I wake up, I have my morning prayer.
Yes.
And go into some form of meditation just to kind of settle my body.
Yep.
And then I'll go into my office. And before I look at my email, and remember, before you look at your email, because otherwise it will put you into firefighter mode instead of fire prevention mode. And what I do is I have a whiteboard right over next to me. I put up 4 things every single day. 3 of those are professional things that I have to do this day before I turn off my laptop. Now here's that 4th one. This is where the fun comes in. It's one thing just for me. One thing personal that I'm going to do today. Sometimes it's I'm going to go sit in my backyard and enjoy my bocce ball court and have the sun on my face. Some days it's, you know what, I'm going to Baskin Robbins and get me something. Other days it's I'm going to take my little 2-year-old granddaughter to the park and just hang out. But it's just for me.
So
it's
those 4 F's again are?
They are faith, family, friends, and fun.
Okay, folks, I want y'all to write down that faith. He talks about it throughout the book, and he's not preaching at you. He's just telling you, without his faith, he would not get through this. Family, his wife sat by his side for months, held his good hand. His children were there to help. Friends, he talks constantly about making time and taking time after the stroke for friends, where he used to didn't have time to talk to folks. He would, oh, hey man, how you doing? What's going on? Okay, well, I got to go. Bye. Now he listens. He talks about the people who are going through other life, what I call the devastating D's of life, whether it's a diagnosis or a disease or a divorce, or it's a disaster, or it's downside. He said, I don't always have to give them advice. I just listen. And they appreciate it. And then fun. Make it part of one thing you wrote in the book that I really resonated with. Bike riding. I'm a cyclist. Mm-hmm. And that's my think time. I get on my bike and I ride for 10, 20 miles. Well, I just think. And I listen to my favorite music. And so, man, this is so rich. This book is so good. I got the book. I thought I knew what was going to say, but I had no idea. Okay. So please give us, we only got about 5 minutes. I mean, we could go forever and ever and ever. Usually at this time of this, I tell you what, usually at this point in the show, I ask you if you were coming to DC and you were speaking, and I took you to a Howard University after your speech, and we had a class of young folks who want to be successful. What would you tell them here that you got us? If you want to tie in some of your goddess with your next, couple minutes, just feel free to do that. But this is so profound, and the information so powerful in this book. I mean, folks, this Stroke of Success book is a book every household should have. Go ahead, Roderick Jefferson.
If we were to go to Howard and speak to the students today, I would tell them 4 things. Okay. First and foremost, own and manage your own digital footprint. Right? In today's digital age, your online presence is not just significant towards influence. It's all about your personal and your professional success, and you have to drive it. The other thing I would say is to identify and sell your strengths. Look, nobody has the vested interest in you being successful more so than yourself, right? And it's all about showcasing your unique strengths to stand out, especially in today's business world. The next thing I would say is learn how to integrate into the workforce across all disciplines. What does that mean? That means you're going to school for 4, 6, maybe even plus. You need to understand and explore how to network and what network really means and what are the tools and the techniques. And the network piece is critical because that can open up doors in various industries where you don't even know there's a house. The next is how to build what I call your blueprint for success. This is all about making an immediate impact as you move into that professional world. And it always begins with get yourself a mentor because no one can do it alone. And what I've learned from my mentors and now being a mentor is they can walk you through situations that are real life ups, downs, and how to get through those. My mama used to say, faith is never tested in good times. And I never understood what that meant until I was laying in that bed and I couldn't move. And I grew up, my dad was a preacher. So I grew up in church every Sunday, every Friday, every Wednesday. But that doesn't mean that you understand what faith means. Faith to me was when I was laying in that bed and I prayed every single night to God. I never said, let me get a chance to walk. No, not let me get out with my family. Oh, I want to do another keynote. I said, God, just let me wake up tomorrow.
Wow.
All I asked for. Family is not just an anchor. It is your foundation. These are the people are there that, as Dr. Jolley said, when you can't do for yourself. You know what I learned that may sound really funny, and I laugh at it now. I realized how far the bathroom was from my couch.
Wow. Right.
It's things that we do that we don't think about. Friends, here's something that's probably going to shake you a bit. And that is you're going to have to change your circle of friends.
Wow.
Because right now, the things that you're doing, if you stay doing that and you stay with that same circle or tribe, whatever you call, they're not a friendship circle. They're an echo chamber.
Wow.
And the last piece is that fun piece. Fun is only and can only be defined by you. And it's not going to be the same all the time, but it has to be something that is just for you. You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to recharge your batteries. I remember my daughter asking me, excuse me, Dad, you've been all over the world. You've done this, that, and the other. What do you do for fun? I looked at her and I said, what is this fun you speak of, child? Right? But it made me realize I was successful, but I was only successful at being a professional, of being an executive. Success is the sum of all parts. And that includes getting off social media sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes social media has made a lot of us less social.
Wow.
It's also about taking time to recharge your batteries. I love you said that I don't go in my office on Sundays.
Right.
Because if you work 7 days a week, guess what? You're living to work. You're not working to live.
Right. Right.
Not at all.
Wow. Roderick Jefferson. Wow. Where can they get the book?
You can find it on roderickjefferson.com. That's RODERICK Jefferson, just like the president.com.
And they can book you to speak.
There you actually get a hardcover signed version of the book.
I want you to go get that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or if you're on Amazon, you can find it there in both hardcover as well as in ebook.
Okay. And they can book you they can get booking information.
Absolutely. When it comes to booking me, if you want me to come at your event, your association, your retreat, whatever it may be, let's have a conversation, because I gave you 1/10 of what comes in this package.
It's an incredible package. I want to thank Roderick Jefferson. I want to thank Ed Robinson for making the connection. I want to thank Truist Bank for being my partner to make it possible for me to have this show and to continue to have this show all these years. They've been with me for 6 years now, and I've been on the show for 20 years, and I've had great partners. And then I want to thank my team for continuing to get the word out about this new book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. It's going like crazy. It's two focuses. One, for people who want to be wealthy and don't know how to get there. I share what I've learned and been taught over the last 20 years, interviewing billionaire after billionaire after billionaire. Not something that I came up with, is what they taught me, and I share that. And number two, all the people who want to impact their children. They've worked hard all their lives. They've scrimped and saved to sacrifice to create a nest egg, and they want to make sure that children don't squander it. Also, join us every Monday night for the Jolley Marriage Show. Oh, the book is Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. You can get it at richisgoodwealthyisbetter.com. And if you get it there, I'll sign copies and send them to you. Lastly, all the people who can join us Monday nights at 9:00 on the Jolley Marriage Show, on A Jolley Marriage on Facebook, The Real Willie Jolley on Instagram, and Willie Jolley on LinkedIn Live. And then you can see the replays on the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. Have a great week on purpose, folks, and get this book, Stroke of Success. It'll change your life. Have a great week, and remember, for sure, your best is yet to come. God bless you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box, that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month, and remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.